Desperate. We need to play desperate. We have to give everything we have every single night, every minute on the court. It's not going to be pretty. We got to learn how to play through adversity. That's another thing that we need to grow from. We were a younger team, but who cares? No one cares. No one feels bad for us. We got to play through it. We got to
Start with questions from players. Yes. Brian.
This is kind of for either of you, but you guys came out with energy and you guys have always preached, punching first. What was kind of happening in the second half that you guys weren't able to bring that energy?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like we came out exactly how we wanted to, and then we just lost it. We got to make that adjustment out of the locker room. You can't come out the second half like that against a team like Indiana who can score in such bunches. And I mean, I'm happy with how we started, but we have to make it consistent throughout the 40-minute game.
I mean, obviously film will show you, what is going to be there, but like this has been a theme lately. You guys are in for like 38 minutes and then it's gone. So how do you guys try and find that consistency, especially if with a postseason push on the line?
I mean, all that it really comes down to is you have to play through it. I mean, there's not much practice time to kind of replicate those kind of situations. So we have to learn from game to game, as cliche as it sounds. And so, yeah, like you said, it's been a theme for probably the last 4 games in a row where we haven't really been able to close it out or we haven't been consistent. So it just has to come from in-game experience. We have to be able to adjust and make those adjustments a little bit quicker. So, yeah.
We'll go to Julia.
Just kind of wondering first, what was the defensive game plan that you guys were kind of looking at to try to contain Clark tonight and Boston, kind of that tandem?
I mean, go over as much as we could. On Boston games, we know that they're a very pick and roll heavy team. And so, yeah, really just go over on her, make it difficult, make her a passer. Obviously she's a good player, so she was able to get a lot of things for us on us. But yeah, that was pretty much the plan.
And then for both of you, just when you're looking, especially going into a road trip, when you're looking at kind of a losing streak like this one, how do you mentally prepare for this road trip and trying to break that?
Desperate. We need to play desperate. We have to give everything we have every single night, every minute on the court. It's not going to be pretty. We got to learn how to play through adversity. That's another thing that we need to grow from. We were a younger team, but who cares? No one cares. No one feels bad for us. We got to play through it. We got to stop fouling. But we got to start playing desperate. We have to take it to a whole nother level of, do we want to be in playoffs or not? Are we going to just pack our bags and go home? Let's figure it out right now. So we're about to play two really good teams. Mini and Vegas are tough and on the road. So, but who cares? No one feels bad for us. We got to figure it out. We need to go in there and act different. Like, we got to be desperate for this.
Guys, fifth straight loss, but obviously, unlike the last, this is double digits. What's missing? What's missing from this team right now?
I mean, obviously it hurts not having Kennedy too. Like, that's an obvious missing piece, our leading scorer, right? But I think in the locker room we discussed it's defense. I mean, obviously offensively we got to take care of the ball and there's stuff we need to clean up. We need to execute better. But we're gonna win games against teams like this, playing defense and finishing possessions.
Yeah.
And I thought we a lack of effort at times.
Yeah.
We
I think in that
played
third
through the whole
quarter.
thing. We played through the whole shot clock, and then we'd either foul or we would give them an offensive board score, and that's kind of unacceptable.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Okay. David, front row on the left.
This is really for both of you. How do you stay motivated after a game like this? And what message do you like to tell to the locker room going forward?
I mean, we're professionals. I mean, this is our job. So, I mean, you come to work every day to be better and be the best version of yourself. And that should be motivation within itself. Losing something like this and losing, 5 games in a row, that for me motivates me. I think in the locker room, it's the same sentiment as well. I don't want to be a loser. We don't want to be losers. And we're in a position right now where we can be successful. Like, we are still in playoffs, even throughout the adversity. And so that I know the people in the locker room are very motivated, and we're going to go into Minnesota, do our best, go to Vegas to the best we can as well, and hopefully we have a different outcome.
If you're not motivated, getting your ass whooped, then we got a problem. Then don't put on the uniform, because you better feel this in your chest.
You both touched on this a little bit just offensively. It seems like it's taking a little bit for you guys to get into your sets, into your action, and then you're having to kind of push at the end of the shot clock. What do you think is maybe the motivating factor in that, and how do you break out of that, especially with Kennedy being a little bit undetermined and just in terms of her availability?
I mean, we've kind of implemented a little bit more of a offense that helps us move the ball because we have had situations where we are a little stagnant and we have kind of addressed that. It's new for us, obviously having, rookie bigs who are not really used to coming out of the paint at times. And so that's just really a work in progress. Like I said, it's kind of new for us that we put that in, but we'll get better at it. I think right now that's probably our best offense, moving the ball, cutting, using the screen. And so I think we'll just, as time goes on, we'll get better at it.
Zachary?
Michaela, you and Lindsay really were instrumental in getting out on that huge run at the beginning of the game. You all worked really well as a tandem, helping to fill the void with Kennedy's absence. Could you just describe like the chemistry that you two have that went into that collective performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I respect your question, but I don't really care about how we didn't win. That for me is the most important to me. And so, like you said, with obviously Kennedy out, we offense has to come from somewhere else. She's a great player. We miss her quite a bit. But yeah, we just have to be better. Like I don't really care about the points. Like I just want to win at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Carly.
Turnovers these last few games have been something we haven't really seen this level of since about the start of the season. I know film will probably show you something, but what do you attribute these turnovers to? Is it just missing passes? Is it, bad ball, like bad team turnovers? What do you think is leading to the lack of possessing the basketball?
Well, for me, I had three. Personally, I have to be better in that. And a lot of it for me, I think, comes from trying to get the ball into the post. Obviously we have really, really great bigs in Camilla and Angel, and they put a lot of pressure on, getting the ball into them. And so I have to be better in that way. And so sometimes it can be that, sometimes, guards are being physical, sometimes lack of communication can come from all over. I think that we did better because I believe in the last game or maybe the game before we had like 20 something. Yeah. So 13 is not great, but it's better than 23.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Last question, you go second row on your right.
Obviously, this is the big game and everything, but emotions got a little high, especially towards the ends of the game with all the calls and things of that sort. How do you guys stay composed, especially as a young team, going through a tough stretch such as this?
I feel like us leaders and like us vets have to really step up in those moments. We got to really keep us composed. I think we could have done a better job of that. Like we all were just kind of like losing our minds at the end and frustrated, and like we can't control that. Like the refs are human. Wasn't great. Not even gonna get into that because I can't afford a fine.
Shit, I can.
But I really think us veterans have to just like really step up and be composed in those moments because you can kind of see how it snowballed really quickly. So we got to be better in those moments of trying to like cut it down because I mean, I don't know how many they shot. It felt like 300 free throws in the fourth quarter. I don't even know if I cracked a sweat because we were standing at the free throw line the whole time, but we got to be better. The vets have to step up and keep us composed.
But even through that, it's just a level of consistency. And I get it. Like refs are human. I do understand. We're trying to do the best we can. But at times it feels like there's no consistency. And so as a player, it's hard when you're just there's fouls every single possession. And so like you said in the fourth quarter, it felt like it was like, what happened? I don't even know what happened, but they're calling a foul, And so that, yes, I do agree with Rachel. Like we have to be better. We have to be as leaders. We have to be held accountable for that. But it's just like there's a level of consistency that it's just not there. So that's just the one thing we're just asking, like, okay, call whatever, but at least be consistent on both sides.
Yeah.
Thank you, players.
Thank you guys.